Hey plant friends, nature loving people. This is Rachel Stravelli coming to you on the weekend. I don't normally record on the weekend and do a lot of work because I think it's important to take a break and step away. But I had to stop and take a video because I was looking at my pepper and tomato plants and I saw something that is really important to tell you. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel with the red button below. All right, now let me flip the camera around, or maybe I'll just bring my plant forward and prop this. Okay, so I have bought some plant starts because I know that I'm not going to be able to start them in my house with my 18-month-old. Actually, he's 19 months now. And so I bought plants that I can just go ahead and put in the ground when the threat of frost is over. But here's a really important thing that not a lot of people will tell you. You might find it in a book somewhere. But typically at the garden store or nurseries, they're not necessarily going to mention this, but this is really critical for you to know. Okay, so here is my tomato plant. And this thing is pretty small, not even a foot high, but it already has a blossom on it. Now, a lot of people, if they would buy this, would be like, oh my gosh, my plant's already ready. It's going to have tomatoes soon. I'm so excited, but I want to show you what's going to happen right now. And I hope you don't cry. Yep, I am snipping off the flower. So here's the thing. This plant, it's in a little pot. It's not in the ground. This is not going to be where it's growing for the year. If I leave that blossom on there and it gets pollinated, that plant, it wants to fulfill the purpose that its DNA is driving forward. It wants to produce seeds, and then it's like, okay, I'm good. Like, that was what I was here for, to produce seeds so that I could replicate, reproduce. If you let it produce seeds when it's in this little pot, like if you let it start developing a tomato, this is not going to develop a good root system. And so you might get one or two measly, piddly little tomatoes, but that's it. And so whenever you have a tomato, or it could be a pepper, my pepper is also starting to have a little bit of blossom. Oh, right there. There's the bud. Right at my fingertips. I snap those off. I don't take off any of the other leaves, but the little bud that's there, I break it off, because what I want is when I put this little plant into the ground, or if you're doing container gardening, into your container garden, I want this plant initially to put all of its energy, all of its resources into root production and more leaf production, because it needs to be bigger to produce peppers and tomatoes. If it starts trying to produce a pepper or tomato when it's this big and in this pot, all the resources are going to go to that. And once that tomato or pepper is grown, there's not going to be a developed root system. There's not going to be developed branches and leaves. And so it might seem uncomfortable to take off blossoms right now, but the payoff in the long run is huge. It's going to be so worth it. And so it's really important that you do that. And so when you are getting ready to put these in the ground, or if you've already bought your plants and you're waiting to be able to put them in the ground or in pots, go ahead and look at them. And if you see little buds, just pinch them off with your fingers. Don't worry, in a few more weeks, once the plant gets established, it will put more out again. You're not going to hinder it from producing fruit and vegetables, but it is going to want to do that. But you need to tell it, no, not right now. We're not producing buds and blossoms. Now is our growing stage. And so that's how you tell it, by nipping off that little flower bud. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Give this a thumbs up and talk to you soon. Bye.